there, how you going? I'm Red. Today we're going to be listening to some r/entitled parents. Read by me, Red. Hope you enjoy. Entitled mum and son eat poisonous berries despite my warning signs. Okay, I'm not sure if this is entitled per se or just plain stupidity, but this happened yesterday morning. So, background, I live in Southern California, very close to the beach. Needless to say that I encounter a lot of locals and tourists. On the right side of my property, across the street, there are shops, a cafe, and a bus stop. Now, on my property I have a hollyberry bush, which are poisonous. Now, they taste like cherries and have a cinnamon-like aftertaste, so a person that doesn't know about the plant would have no idea of this. The side effects of the berries are nausea, disorientation, diarrhea, vomiting, and severe stomach cramps. Due to my house being on the historic registry and nature protection laws, I can't just remove the bush because some of the birds pick at it and eat from it. I know that the berries and leaves aren't poisonous to some species of birds and other critters like certain squirrels and chipmunks. Anyway, because of this, I have two signs that say, "Do not eat" and "Danger." The fact that I have a sign with "Danger" with a hazard skull and bones deters most people, except for this persistent mum and boy last morning. So it's around 10:30 and I take my trash out. This mum, who looked about 40, had two kids with her, a teen girl around 14 to 16 maybe, and a little boy who looked 6 to 8 years old. The mum and the boy are the entitled, stupid ones here. The teen girl was actually nice. The boy says, "Mom, look, berries!" Entitled mum, "Wow, I didn't realize berries grew here. Let's get some." I asked her to read the signs that say, "Don't eat them." She scoffs and says, "It's not like you need all these berries. You should be nice and give them to my kids. Don't be greedy." Entitled boy, "Mom, when are we going to have berries?" Entitled mom, "Right now." Teen girl, you want any? Teen girl, "No, Mom, I think they're..." Cut off by the mom. Entitled mom, "Okay then." Because I'm older, I couldn't run fast enough to catch them. The mom and the son broke a branch off the berry bush. They started running and scarfing down berries and went to the bus stop across the street, with the teen girl reluctantly following. I was yelling to get her attention for nearly 20 minutes, but after the mom and the boy started getting overly sweaty and acting weird, the teen came to talk to me. Teen girl, "Hey, so what's wrong?" Me, "Those berries are poisonous. I tried to warn your mother and brother, but it's too late." The teen started to cry, thinking they were going to die. I comforted her, saying they'll live. They're just going to be very, very sick. Soon, I went to my house to get seltzer tablets and water bottles to help. But the time I came out, both the mum and son finished all the berries, and the boy threw up all over his shirt. The mum came back with obvious signs of throwing up herself to yell at me when I pointed at the sign that said "Danger" and "Do not eat," that this was her fault. She flipped the bird and left. The teen just said, "Sorry." I gave her the seltzer tablets and she went to the cafe to get some paper towel to clean up her brother. But by the time she came back, the mum vomited too. They all got on the bus and I haven't seen them since. Thanks for reading. Have a great day. Edit. There's been a lot of people asking me about the berries and my house. So I bought my house 50 years ago and I didn't know that the berries were poisonous. Despite me having signs and warnings for all these years, people still manage to eat them. And yes, many people have gotten sick. But due to my house being on the historic registry, I can't remove the bush. So I have to do the best I can do to warn others. But people still eat them. God. My entitled grandma thinks she has the right to enter the house without permission and gets mad when she caught me masturbating. So where do I even begin with this story? My grandma has a spare key to my parents' house. She has had it since me and my sister were little, so she could come and babysit us when our mum worked evenings. She doesn't need the key anymore since me and my sister are adults now and have moved out. I guess my parents forgot about it. So I've been visiting my parents over the summer, and on 2 occasions, my grandma showed up at the house unannounced when I was the only one home. She didn't knock, she just unlocked the door and walked straight in and went to my room, also without knocking. The first time she snuck up on me while gaming and scared the crap out of me. Fast forward like a week. I was once again home alone. My parents were away shopping or something. And I went to my room for some alone time, so to speak. There I was doing my deed when I suddenly thought I heard something, so I stopped for a short while and listened. But I didn't hear any more, so I continued with the deed. A minute later, someone rips the door open, and it was my grandma, and there I was, fully erect in my hand and a video on my phone. She looked shocked, like she's just seen a ghost. Then she closed the door and walked away, and I could hear her from the kitchen saying something like, "Stop that! Get dressed and come here, you little perv!" I did as she said and dressed and got out to speak with her. She was mad, and the conversation went like this. Me, "I'm so sorry, but you can't walk in like that." Grandma, "I have the key. You wasn't opening when I knocked because you're in your room perving yourself." I don't know how to translate it to English. Snuska sig in Swedish. I'm so sorry. I'm sure that was terrible. Me, "But you can't come as you want without permission. It's not your house." Grandma, "It's not your house either. It's my daughter's. And I can do whatever I want." Me, "No you don't. Why do you even still have the key?" Grandma, "That's beside the point, young man." Yes, she called me that. "Why are you in there and committing blasphemy?" Again, translation. "You should stop that sick behavior and focus on getting married." I'm 25, never even had a girlfriend, and she's always bugging me about getting married. "And also, I'm going to press charges for sexual harassment. You exposed yourself to me. That's illegal." Me, "And I'm going to press charges for trespassing. I'm just going to show security footage from the front door camera. And by the way, I can do what I want with my own body in my free time." Grandma, "No, you can't. That's sick and disgusting. I'm going to tell your mom that you exposed yourself for me." Me, "So you mean you're going to speak to my manager?" Grandma, No, I said your mum. You bet she's going to ground you for this." Me, "You know that I don't live here, and I'm 25. And I don't think my mum would care anyways after I show her the front door footage of you walking in without knocking." Grandma, "Whatever. You're still in big problems, you nasty pervert." Then she storms out and slams the door. And I saw her messing with something by the door, probably trying to reach the front door camera. And I later saw on the footage her trying to jump for the camera. Kind of a funny sight seeing a 155 centimeter, 70-year-old lady jumping and punching for something out of reach. And I also saw her walking in without knocking and unlocking the door. It was the first thing she did when she got to the door. I called my mum after she left and told her this story. I didn't tell her about the masturbating, of course. I said that I was changing clothes and happened to be naked when Grandma opened the door. My mum laughed and said she's going to take the spare key back or change locks. I still don't know if my grandma has talked to my mum yet after the incident, since it happened fairly recently. I've gone back to my apartment since this happened, so I'm kind of curious about what my mum would ground me from. Leaving my own apartment, maybe? My grandma called my mum the next day and yelled at her for raising such a pervert of a son. She actually lied about what happened and said that I was walking around naked and that I answered the door and started to perv myself, which is her way of describing masturbation, in front of her, and that I scarred her for life. And she thought that I was about to attack her sexually and all kinds of made up stuff. She said that I'm going to jail for this and that I'm probably a rapist in disguise. My mum laughed at her at first and said that doesn't sound like anything I would do, and why would he do such a thing in front of his own grandma? She said she's just lying and that I told her the truth and that her claims are ridiculous. My mom was also kind of pissed that she called me a potential rapist, but she didn't see any point in arguing about it because my grandma always thinks she's in the right no matter what you tell her. My mum will probably only change the locks and didn't say anything to her getting the spare key back. It's probably impossible considering how my grandma is. My mum simply said that I shouldn't care about what that stupid woman says and that I shouldn't worry about her pressing charges. She wouldn't do that. She's just using it as a threat. And if she were to, she would have no evidence. And I also have evidence of her walking in without knocking, so I'm not that concerned about that. I hope you enjoyed that r/entitled parents. If you did, please like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much!